Alright. You know what? Oh wow, no fights here. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and save. Just no reason, just because. Why would you not save every so often? Sorry for the abrupt cut just then, but let's just say I'm glad I saved here because I messed up pretty horribly. Anyway, this area up here has no hidden item in it. It is pointless, just for flavor. But that makes the world more realistic, so I appreciate it. Hey, Red! You're going to Pokemon League? Forget it. You probably don't have any badges. The guard won't let you through. By the way, did your Pokemon get any stronger? Oh yeah, buddy. Here we go. We are level 7 now. You have no idea. Blue wants to fight. That's right. Our second trainer battle is with the same guy as the first trainer battle. But I promise there's more variants later. We aren't only going to be fighting this guy the entire game. Alright, Spearow is normal flying, so I'm not very worried about him. He's a little bit rougher than Pidgey, but he's still weak to our electric attacks. And if he just uses Growl on us, that's great, because... Ooh, Leer's not great, because defense is not good. But attack doesn't matter if it's lowered in this fight, because our only offensive move uses special and not the attack stat. Eevee, here we go, level 8, and I am very worried about it. So... we are going to try to lower its attack a bunch here. Ooh, okay, we just both wasted our turns. So he lowered our defense while I lowered his attack. Okay, that's still doing 8 damage. That's not good. We're gonna have to do something about that. And he just keeps negating it. Come on. Oh my god, this is gonna go on forever. I'm not losing this fight. This is a war of patience. Here's one thing where the AI cheats. Uh-oh. We've lowered his attack as far as it'll go. And... he just used Sand Attack, which lowers our accuracy, which is devastating early game. And we are not doing that much damage, but yes! We have paralyzed Eevee. That is perfect. Oh, yes. That is a 25% chance that Eevee cannot attack. Oh, please don't be a crit. Oh, my god. He seems to crit all the time. But luckily, we can heal exactly to full health with one of our 3 potions, which you might consider cheap, but, I mean, they're there to be used. I intend to win this fight. I could lose this fight, but I feel like it would just waste more time and I wouldn't get to show everything. Because the fight doesn't go away. You can't go past Blue here and explore until way later. You know, if you don't win this fight. So I'd rather win this fight. Plus, it actually makes things a little bit harder later in the game. Woo! We actually did it. Level 8. I will be completely honest with you guys. I went through the game after having lost this fight 4 times. And I just realized I didn't get to show everything I wanted to show. So I wanted to keep doing it to win. But we just learned Thunder Wave, which instead of attacking, just causes paralysis, which is especially useful when catching Pokemon. Red defeated Blue. Aw, you just lucked out. Yeah. And also if you lose half your money, so... And unlike Earthbound, there is no ATM. You cannot deposit your money anywhere. So if you lose one battle, stupidly, you lose half of all your money. It kinda sucks. I hear Pokemon League has many tough trainers. I have to figure out how to get past them. You should quit dawdling and get a move on. Oh, what a jerk. Douche is another common name I used to see. Not as a kid, because I didn't know what douche meant as a kid. We're actually going to go back for now. And we'll go explore this area later. Because we have stuff to do. If you will remember, I put off buying Pokeballs and catching Pokemon. For a specific reason. If we go back to Pallet Town right now, at this exact moment, before we buy any Pokeballs or register any Pokemon other than Pikachu in our Pokédex, something interesting happens. And this is the last time we'll be going to Pallet Town for a while, I promise. You won't have to see me do this again. And I'm going to start cutting out useless traveling later. I just don't like to make cuts early game, especially when, as cringy as it may sound, I want you to be immersed in the world. Also, we did not heal automatically. We did? Hold on, does that include our PP? No, okay. Were we just at full health? Well, that's nice. You can't get detailed data on Pokemon by just seeing them. You must catch them. Use these to capture wild Pokemon. Red got 5 Pokeballs. You have to have won the blue fight, not bought Pokeballs, and not registered any Pokemon in your Pokédex, which I don't think you can do without Pokeballs anyway. Well, with the exception of Pikachu, of course, or whoever your starter is. When a wild Pokemon appears, it's fair game. Just like I showed you, throw a Pokeball at it and try to catch it. That's not formatted properly. This won't always work, though. A healthy Pokemon could escape. You have to be lucky. Lucky is actually a decent part of it. So let's go do that. We will finally go catch Pokemon on Route 1. I don't want to heal at home, actually. I do want to get our PP back, but I guess we can do that later. Oh, and anytime your Pokemon leaves not even just the battle, but the battle arena temporarily, if you swap out Pokemon for another Pokemon, all your stat debuffs and buffs will go away. So if you've been tail whipped or sand attacked a bunch and you swap out and swap back in, you'll be back to normal. And I cannot use Thundershock on a level 3 Pidgey without killing it. So I am just going to throw the Pokeball. Early game Pokemon have very high catch rates, which means you are still pretty likely to catch them even at full health. It's not perfect, but we helped with the paralysis. Okay, nope, this is not great. Normally I do this on the first shot. It does not help that we're level 8 right now. You can't attack it at all. Come on, please. Yes. Okay, normally if you get a third wiggle, you'll be good. You can't go past 3. If it wiggles 3 times, I don't know if it can break out after that. I think maybe it can, but you're pretty much in the bag. Pidgey was caught. New Pokédex data will be added for Pidgey. The tiny bird Pokemon, very docile. If attacked, it will often kick up sand to protect itself rather than fight back. The text translator for the localizations of the game, Nob Ogasawara, or at least the English versions, fought very hard to get a second page of text added to the Pokédex because there was only one in Japan, but English takes up more space. Oh no, I have not thought about this. What do we name our Pidgey? How about... Okay, I said first thing that comes to my head, so another F-A, but this time we're going to be doing Fart. I'm going to nickname my Pidgey Fart. Yep, there's Fart right there. Still paralyzed. And if it had taken any damage, it would reflect that also. Your Pokemon do not get healed. Even if you store them in the PC, you do have to heal them at a Pokemon Center. So they're just sitting there in pain all the time until you fix the problem. Okay, we're just going to get you out of here. I assume we can one-shot you by now, right? Yes, wonderful. Wonderful. And we do have one more Pokemon we can find, even though we haven't seen it on Route 1 yet. There's a 30% chance of spawning. Oh my god, well, we keep getting the 70% chance of Pidgey, but I want... Actually, we will... Let's see how... If we can one-shot you. Probably not. Ooh, so close. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. 30% chance we will see a Rattata. That's what I've been trying to say, but I've been too busy stretching and fighting Pidgey. Please be a Rattata. I don't want to cut this early. It ruins the immersion. Come on, please. Nope. Oh well, I will talk about the games while we wait. So, in Japan, in February 27, 1996, they released Pokemon Red and Green. The games were actually originally ready to be released in October of 1995, and they were intended to be released in December of 95, That's why you see the 95 copyright date on all Pokemon merchandise. Nobody knows why they were delayed, but they were. And they were never intended to be brought to the West. And they were just supposed to be little one-offs. You know, they weren't sure if they were going to be that popular, but they broke sales records, and Generation 1 of Pokemon actually became the best-selling non-bundled with a console games of all time. So, excluding Super Mario Bros. And any other game that was bundled with a console like Tetris, you know, they sold the best ever, completely breaking records. So, because the sprites in Red and Green and the mechanics were so... The mechanics in all the Generation 1 games were so buggy, but especially in Red and Green, they decided to update Red and Green with Blue, exclusive to readers of CoroCoro magazine. On October 15th, 1996, they had a slip where you could mail in an order for Pokemon Blue in Japan, which was not our Pokemon Blue. It was just an updated version. It uses the sprites that are in Pokemon Red and Blue and the actual base game, the game mechanics from our Red and Blue. But Pokemon Blue turned out to be so popular they ran it again in 1997. Nobody actually got their hands on it until December of 96, but the release date is officially considered to be October 15th, 96, when it actually came out. Or when the magazine came out, sorry. So then it was so popular again, they decided to capitalize on the popularity of the anime, which pronounced Pikachu the mascot finally. Oh my god. Ooh, I actually don't think we can one-shot him. If you feel like your main Pokemon are too powerful and you have a Pokemon you don't use, I don't actually intend to use Pidgey and Rattata. I'm catching them for completion's sake, and it's not bad to have emergency variety early in the game. I do have a set team I'll be using of 6 that we will be getting to later when we can actually encounter these Pokemon, and you guys will be disappointed by my choices, I promise. Because I am a Pokemon normie. Pikachu is actually my second favorite Pokemon of all time. But I feel like that's just because he has more personality than all the other Pokemon, because he's in more media, he stars in more games than any other Pokemon. So you really can't blame me. I mean, it's pure exposure. The rat Pokemon will chew on anything with its fangs. If you see one, it is certain that 40 more live in the area. Well, I think somebody else caught the other freaking 40. No, I wanted to nickname him. I instinctively pressed B. I was gonna name him Poop, so we could have Fart and Poop, because those are funny. But fine, whatever. We're gonna go buy more Pokeballs, because I wasted them all on Pidgey. Fart and Poop. That's not a way to start a Pokemon Let's Play, right? Oh, I'm sorry, what was I talking about? So they made Pokemon Yellow, which we are playing now. The only Generation 1 version where there are no significant differences between its Japanese and English releases. But finally, after all those Japanese releases, they came out with Pokemon Red and Blue, which use a lot of the in-game version differences of Red and Green, but use the base game of Pokemon Blue, so that's why I consider them all different games. And then they finally had a retail release of Pokemon Blue in Japan in 1999, shortly before the generation ended. We'll go ahead and buy 10, because why not? And I don't think I'm going to need any potions right now, so we'll just save our money. It's going to suck if we black out, or white out. I can't remember which one the game says. If you, like, die, basically, if you get a game over, as the manual calls it. It is a game over if you lose all your Pokemon and respawn at the Pokemon Center. Right, and we got more Pokemon to catch. So I'm going to show off these Pokemon, and I'm going to mostly cut here, because you're not going to have that much fun watching me wander around tall grass catching Pokemon. I just want to show off each new Pokemon as we can encounter them. Like Nidoran Female. Completely different species than the Nidoran Male, which we will also be seeing. But I'm going to leave Pikachu out in front to paralyze the Pokemon, and then send out our other Pokemon to damage them, because I know we will destroy a level 2 So let's send out Rattata. Ooh, those back sprites. So yellow also has a lot of bug fixes from blue, red, and blue, as confusing as that is. But I believe the back sprites we're seeing are all either from red and green or from blue. I think they may have redone the back sprites for blue, I can't remember. But I think most of them are just the back sprites from red and green. But the front sprites look so much better than they did in the other versions of the game. They just progressively got better. So thank you to Ken Sugimori, the art director for Pokemon, who designed most of the, not only the Pokemon, but the art for the Pokemon himself. And we can talk about how Pokemon got started, I guess. The Poison Pin Pokemon, a mild-mannered Pokemon that does not like to fight. Beware, its small horns secrete venom. Nidoran female. We are going to name you... Now, Poop doesn't seem right for you. We'll name you a great original nickname. Needy! Yes, I am cracking myself up. Oh my god. Finally, I've been wandering around for like 3 minutes. It felt like a very long time from what I expected. Waiting for this to show up. Nidoran male! Again, completely different species. Even though they can presumably mate together. Oh well, I guess kids aren't supposed to think about it too much. So I guess we don't have to either. So as I was saying, the intention of having different versions stems from the original concept of the games. Satoshi Tajiri, creator of the series, wanted, when he first saw the Game Boy, to make a game where people had to trade creatures, or monsters, as he later envisioned it, between the link cable to promote trading. And the original idea was to have one version of the game with different creatures so rare that they take, like, was it 2 hours, 4 hours to catch? So then you want to trade your rare creatures with your friends. Shigeru Miyamoto came up with the idea for having different versions. He wanted 7 different versions for each color of the rainbow, but they later dumbed it down to 2. And then, of course, brought it up to 4 in Japan. The Poison Pin Pokemon. Yes, Pokemon can share Pokédex titles. Its large ears are always kept upright. If it senses danger, it will attack with a poisonous sting. Do you want to give a nickname? Sure, we'll name this guy Poop. How about... Poopoid. We'll name him Poopoid. That sounds more manly. He's Nidoran male. He's got to be manly. He's the Poopoid. Okay, I'm so sorry, I'm cracking myself up. We are now level 10 from fighting all the Rattata and Nidoran of the area, so now I'm going to stop fighting wild Pokemon and just run from them until I find new Pokemon. No more wild battles for me for the rest of the game. I'm just going to focus on trainers, because trainer Pokemon give higher experience than wild Pokemon do. Finally. Oh my god. The spawn rates for them are not that low. You can get low as low as 1%, making Pokemon pretty rare in certain places. But I have no problem grinding those out, because I know they're going to be difficult. But when you just get unlucky and one doesn't spawn, that's kind of a different story. Also, the reason I wanted to stop at level 10 fighting wild Pokemon is I really don't want to be over-leveled, especially early in the game. That's just no fun. Because we're primarily just going to use Pikachu for a while here, because I don't want to use any of these early Pokemon. But Mankey here is actually quite good early game, especially in Yellow. In fact, that's why they put him here on Route 22, exclusively in Yellow. Ooh, yes. Okay. Excellent. We get to save up those Pokeballs. The Pig Monkey Pokemon. An agile Pokemon that lives in trees. It angers easily and will not hesitate to attack anything. We're gonna name this guy... I decided to name him Grant. Because after much deliberation, I look at Mankey and I think about my friend Grant. So there we go. And we have 6 Pokemon, but there is one more we can catch here. But I want to say a fun fact about Mankey. In a Japanese exclusive guide for Pokemon, which was presented as a Pokédex with exclusive entries that contained the official lore for the games as they were originally intended. Again, released exclusively in Japan. Did You Know Gaming made 3 videos on this book because they paid a lot of money for it and then paid the original translator of these games, Nob Ogasawara, to translate the book for him. And in said book, it says that some researchers believe Mankey has a calcium deficiency. That is my favorite Pokemon fact I've ever heard because it is so useless. I love it. Finally, here we go. Our final Pokemon of the day that we can get on Route 22. Ooh, it's only level 2. That's not good. He definitely has a higher catch rate than Pidgey, so I at least want to hit him a decent amount. I think we'll just tackle him once with Fart. No, not Fart. I thought Fart was Rattata for some reason. Oh, well, this works out, you know, because now we have a lower chance of hurting him. Also, Gust is normal type and not flying type, which I think is really weird. I believe they fixed that in later games, but still want to point out how weird it is. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay. New Pokédex data will be added for Spearow, the tiny bird Pokemon shared with Pidgey. Inept at flying high, however, it can fly around very fast to protect its territory. Do you want to give a nickname to Spearow? Okay. How about Jimson? Perfect. Jimson was transferred to someone's PC. That's right. After you have 6, the maximum you can carry, the rest automatically go into a box in your PC. Well, not your PC, but someone's PC. The manual says we'll find out who that person is later. Oh, and if you go down at the beginning instead of going up to the tall grass, Pokemon League front gate. Ooh, it just leads there. It's a shortcut to get back without going in the tall grass, I guess. Here we go. Welcome to Route 23. We will be exploring this next time. Actually, Pikachu, what do you have to say? Ooh, he's finally happy with us. That's good. Alright, I will see you guys later. Sorry if this part was boring. It was, I mean, the early game's not all that exciting, but I showed you one of the greatest grinding spots in the game. The one you're most likely to use at the very least. I'm LP Master 6.